So a lot of y'all wanted to know why it is that I don't get myself into relationships, or why it is that I don't take it seriously. I have 5 points, five talking points. I could really get at this a million and one different ways, but I'm just going to go ahead and limit it down to 5 talking points. The games and time. So I'm going to go ahead and address this, right? Those 2 talking points at once, right? So I can kind of get to the point. But the games and time, right? Those are 2 talking points. So a lot of individuals waste too much time when it comes to relationships. Waste way too much time. The time that a lot of people could be using to actually get themselves in functional relationships and build wealth that way. Because rich people build wealth based upon the family that they have. And if one person is collecting assets, that's good. But if 2 people are collecting assets, that's great. Then if you start to have little ones or offspring, then it's 3 or 4 people, or how many offsprings you have collecting assets, plus you and your spouse. So that's part of what creates generational wealth that so many people claim that they want. And if you don't believe me, you can always feel free to check out my book at Amazon. And at the end of the book, the last 6 to 10 pages, I actually go in on relationships and how people could start getting their relationships together. So but it's way too much time, though. It's way too much time being spent on frivolous things that don't really matter in the long run, but do matter in the long run, because a lot of y'all Venusians, right? A lot of the people who play games don't really understand that same time, me snapping my fingers represents the seconds that's ticking off of your clock. One of these days, you're going to move on, if you know what I mean. It's not a threat. It's just me keeping it 100. One of these days, everybody's going to move on. Everybody has their day. So think about how it is that you want to be remembered, and think about how you spend your time. If you're dedicating yourself to playing games, okay, games like that will win you prizes like that. So when you move on, so to speak, if you know what I mean, or if you make the transition and you don't really leave anything to your little ones, I'm leaving something behind. I'm actually leaving something behind. I'm leaving behind assets to my potential offspring, or to the people, or to the person that I pass it on to, along with a handbook of everything that I know, and how to speed up that learning curve so they get hip to the game earlier. But so many people, if you know what I mean, I'm talking about the people I would date, because this is a video on why I don't date. Now, if you agree, then that's good. But people wanted to know why I specifically don't date. Well, 2 of those 5 is because of the games and the time. A lot of those games that people play, I used to take personally. Now I don't take it as personally as I once did anymore, but it's still lame. It's still lame, and it's never going to not be lame, because there's no reason to play those games. Look, if you're not interested in me, that's all it is that you have to say. Just be like, look, I'm not interested. Okay, cool. But to waste the person's time and don't necessarily have the heart to tell the person, look, I'm not really interested. Okay, cool. Because I've been told many a times by many different people, that they're not interested in me, or the people who I respect the most are actually the people who tell me straight up, I'm not interested in you. Okay. Because what it says to me is you're actually being respectful of my time. Because I do many different things. I read things of this nature, bunch of different things, right? Now the next one is the insults. The insults that a lot of people throw at me is real disrespectful. A lot of that stuff is really uncalled for, because at the end of the day, so many people are emotional. I'm trying to get to know you, and I'm trying to really get to know you. And instead of you take the time to really get to know me, what you're doing, You're insulting me. Oh, look at this, look at that. Look at the fact that, you know, you're not tall enough. Look at this, look at that. You don't know me. You don't know the cut from the cloth that I'm cut from. You don't know any of that stuff. You don't know that I've written you don't know that I've written a letter to the chief of police of New York City, saying that the chief of police has to stop harassing the people who live in my neighborhood because it's very discriminatory, and I don't like that. And I put myself out there as a Moorish American, and it stopped. The harassing of the people in my neighborhood legitimately stopped. The next week, the police department actually moved out of the building and went to locate themselves somewhere else. You don't know the work that I put in. You don't know the good work that I put in. I've done more stuff. I've saved people's lives as I keep talking, because it's the truth. My mom is a witness to it, because my mom was there too. And the insults that people throw at me, oh, you're ugly. Another insult is the time that people waste with my time. The games that people play, all of this stuff is insults, because I'm telling you that I'm gonna go ahead and get to know you, and you've been flirting with me the whole time, and you've been letting me know that you're interested in your goofy little ways. And then when I go ahead and I try to interact with you, what do? You skip out for 3 weeks and all this little goofy stuff that you do. But then you have the mentality when I tell you, listen, I don't rock with you. I'm not really interested in getting to know you. I don't rock with you. I think you a poo putt. Straight up, I think you a poo putt. To really try to be on my gentleman type stuff, and to really not be disrespectful, because I'm a Virgo and I can come up with something quick and witty. To really be respectful, no thank you. And then they're playing as if they don't know what they did. That's very insulting. Ignoring my pain, very insulting. Acting like you don't know, very insulting after you know what it is that you did. Trying to play this game of, well, if I had it, what do you mean if you had? You did do it. You did do it. Because why do you have all this memory about, well, you said this to me or whatnot? Yeah, I told you that you needed to step your game up. What's so bad about that? Well, I didn't like that you said that. Yeah, but it's not really disrespectful though. You have no ammunition. So where are you going with this? Well, if I had done this, stop saying if. Apologize for what you did. No, I'm not going to do that. I've literally had people tell me that. I've literally told people, if you want me to continue to be in your life, you're going to have to apologize, and you're going to have to apologize the correct way. And you know what they tell me? They tell me, nah, I can't do that. What you mean you can't? You mean you won't? And then these are some of the people here that some of the people who bring themselves back trying to talk to me. What are you doing here? I told you I didn't want to ever talk to you again. What you doing here with all these insults that yourself keeps going with? What you doing here? Now I gotta tilt my head, because now you looking suspicious. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? So if I'm the worst person in the world, what you doing here? It shouldn't make any sense, right? So why are you here? Every individual that I've tried to date, they've all called me poo putt. They've all called me ain't this. I'm worthless. And each and every single one of them has brought themselves back. We can hang out. Why would I want to hang out with you after you just told me that I was worthless? Why would I want to hang out with you? Why would I want to hang out with you or talk to you again if you just told me that I wasn't worth a whole lot? Why would I want to hang out with you again after you just told me some of the most despicable things that I've ever heard? Why would I remember someone who I actually liked told me that because they had blue eyes and blonde hair, they're going to call the police on me and have the police come through and swat me and eliminate me. The police already tried to do that. They didn't succeed doing that. So you telling me that as a melanated individual with curly hair and stuff like this, and they don't, and they have a problem with people who have my type of physical phenotype, and for you to be an individual who has light skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, and you telling me that crap? Because what? Because you think you're in some form of competition? Because what? Because you couldn't handle me disagreeing with you in a conversation? You could imagine how I felt with that. Then you have the guarantees, right? You have the guarantees, and you have the lack of being approachable. With the guarantees, so many of these individuals want guarantees. They don't even know who some individuals are, but they want this guarantee. How is somebody supposed to show you who they are if you won't even give them a chance? If anybody can tell me how they're supposed to do that, other than tricking, because it's tricking. If a person gives you these guarantees before they even get a chance to know you, they are tricking by definition. Why am I saying this? Because how are you supposed to get to know somebody if they won't even give you a chance? If under the conditions that they are not tricking, the answer is they can't. Because you expecting all these guarantees, the only way for you to know if the person is official is if you have to actually take the chance and dive into that water and get to know the person up close and personal and find out. You're looking for, a lot of y'all are looking for a trick. You're looking factually, because I know the game. Factually, I know the game. I know people from all different walks of life, soaked up the game, had people teach me the game, bits and pieces of it, and I connected the dots, and I've also learned the game through osmosis and being in certain situations that put me on the game. I know the game. If an individual is telling you, I'll pay your phone bill, I'll do all this, I'll do all that, I'll do all that, and they proceed to do so, they was already tricking off. So if you want to be respected as a top-notch individual, so to speak, there's only one way that you're going to be able to find out, and that way is for you to actually take a dive in instead of standing there watching the pool, right? You know you could swim, but standing there watching the pool like, I don't know if I should get in. And then it's the approach. Because of that stuff, this is why it is that I don't necessarily approach individuals anymore like that, or people that I would like to get to know like that too much like that anymore. Because a lot of y'all you're really not approachable. A lot of y'all, as soon as I walk up to y'all, a lot of y'all, hey, what's up? I don't want to talk to you. All right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Some of y'all, I'm getting to know some of y'all. Can I give you my number? Nah, whatever. Okay. Then when I go ahead, I'm walking off with my dog, because I walk my dog and everything like that. I'm walking off with my dog, right? My dog's on a leash, but I'm walking off with my dog. What happens? I turn around just to see if they're still standing there, they still standing there. You already told you, what are you still standing there for? You already told me you ain't want my number. And you know why they're standing there? They're standing there because secretly they really do want to be in a relationship with me or get to know me better. But it's because it's the same concept of a lot of the individuals will tell people no, they don't want to hang out with them, that they do. Because I can't tell y'all how many times, countless times, individuals have told me, no, I'm not interested. Show me they're not interested. But then at the same time, when I move on to somebody else, what you doing? Why do you care? Listen, mira, escúchame. You have had your opportunity to shine in the sun. You've had that opportunity. I gave you a fair shake. I legitimately wanted to get to know you slowly and build and show you just how serious I am about you, the relationship, and my own well-being as far as the legacy that we could have left behind to our offspring. You chose from your own fruition and free will. You didn't want to hang out with me. So now that you chose that, you can't expect to tell somebody you don't want to hang out with them and expect them to still hang out with you. That doesn't make any sense. So if you want to hang out with me, a lot of the individuals, if you want to hang out with me, you need to say so. Stop it with this trying to act like you too cool for school. Because real individuals who really have things to do, if you tell them they don't want to hang out, if you tell them you don't want to hang out with them, they're going to take you seriously and they're going to just shrug their shoulders and they're going to go, okay, it is what it is. Because you told them you didn't want to hang out with them. So that's some of the reasons why it is that I don't date.